Good morning, everybody. In Chris's absence, I'll be with the staff support, and the next item up on the agenda will be approval of the April 6, 2023 minutes. Does everybody have a chance to review the minutes? We have a motion. Motion approved. Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Our first appeal will be for 2269 North Carville Alton Road. And I think Ashley Fan is here to represent that.
Yes.
Would you like to say it?
Yeah, what we'd like for you all to do, since other board members are not present, we're gonna get you to come right here.
Okay.
So that they can hear you a little bit
Facing
better.
which?
Say it again.
Facing this direction.
Yes, yes, you can see either one of these.
Okay. I purchased the property at 269 North Carville Arlington Road. It was part of a larger property. I purchased 23.6 acres to be a horse farm. The other part of the property is a house, residential private area. The shape of the property that I purchased doesn't have road frontage that isn't separated by a waterway, an actual waterway. If you stand right there at the road, it might look like trees and grass. But when you go in a few feet, it is an extensive waterway. So to just make one line, it makes several.
This is what we're looking up here for with the stream.
That is not an accurate property line. No. It's not. Would you like me to show you where it's at? And it's in my denial letter. I did put a survey. I also marked the waterway and the soil map. So you can see that is what the property looked like at one time, when I believe it was 38 or 39 acres. They sold off 1 acre to another neighbor, and they sold off a large part to me. So this is, does everybody have this survey?
Yes, yes.
I don't know if it's possible to move that down a little bit.
Down.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay.
So my property starts here. This is the driveway. I had an easement to use the very beginning of the driveway, but that's all, just the driveway. My property starts here. And it goes like this. And most of it is not even included in this picture now. It's from there, right here, along the tree line, through here, down here, and then it opens up. The horse barn is here. It's more than 2,000 feet from the road. I mean, you can see there's a waterway marked from the USDA soil map. It should be in the packet too. Obviously, it doesn't show the shape of the way that the ditch has eased off, but it shows you at least that there's a waterway that goes like this. It makes several V's, and attempted to take a picture. I thought I might get down in it to show the height of it, but I didn't feel like that was really safe. It's pretty tall. I'm pretty tall, and it's taller than me, so I didn't really want to get a ladder. The barn is here. We're adding a few more stalls, so it'll be a little bit bigger. And then the pasture turnout area for the horses is back here. So that, if this is 2,000 feet, that's easily probably a lot more than that. I just went, well, if you look at water for horses. When it was part of the residential property, and that property line, it goes right just behind the barn. When it was part of this property, getting water there was not a problem because they have frontage. They have good frontage on the other side of their driveway that doesn't have this. It goes into a pipe, and I guess at some point it crosses, I don't know, under Carville, Arlington, whatever, but the part that I have is all waterway. They have good frontage up there, and I'm sure that's where the utilities are to get to their house. I don't have that. In fact, I'm waiting on the design to get my own power to come from their transformer, because again, I'll have the same type of issue from the road.
Was the barn originally with the house?
It was,
And so the barn was being fed from water from the house?
yes, yes.
And that, are they on a well or are they on city?
They are on city water, and so what I thought was, okay, well, great, there's water here. You just come off of that, but that's not how it works. It has to come from the road. We can't just like put a pipe there with a V. That would be amazing, but it's not how it works. You know, I suppose if I owned the whole thing, perhaps it could work that way, but it doesn't. There's no way to meter that. There wouldn't be enough water pressure. It's just not. It's not a possibility. It is all horses. There's no residents here in our addition, putting bathroom, and that's it. It's just to get water, 2 horses. And then aside from that, I know that typically in Memphis, the last several years anyway, we've had a couple weeks stretch where we have to conserve water, where the water isn't safe to drink. And so my question beyond just getting water would be, how do I water horses off of city water when I'm supposed to conserve and they drink about 16 quarts a day minimum? And how would I know that that water was okay to give them when we're at low water levels in city water? Does that make sense? If we can't drink it without boiling it, how do I give it to my horses? And how could I be a good community member and conserve water when there's so much of it just to care for the animals? I don't know if there's anything I haven't covered. The stream distance, the topography is quite rolling. This particular area, after you get past the waterway, it goes up, flattens out a little bit, and then it goes up and down 2 more times before the path here. It's quite hilly. So running a water line to get to the pastures, in addition to it being an extreme distance, would also be quite an engineering feat. The way I see it, perhaps an aqueduct could get it from the road to the property. I don't see another way. I noticed somebody else has an appeal here, and their distance was 750 feet, and their estimate was $75,000 on the low end. So I can't imagine I could be able to get somebody to give me an estimate, if it was even possible. If it's 750 feet, that's $175,000. What is more than 2,000 feet? Any questions I didn't address?
Any board members have any questions they want to ask? Let's see again. We ask staff, your evaluation. This is the package, if you want to go for your evaluation. Your evaluation of her application as far as what you found as far as her ability to cite it.
With what I found, the ability to cite it was good, and my description would be over the river through the woods to grandmother's house. That's what we did from where I parked to where we literally needed to go. And the drainage that she's referring to, I can't even see how you could get a pipe or anything around that without going to eternity to do the deed. And the topography, it's horrible. And literally, I had a jacket on when I parked, and by the time I got to the spot that I was going, I was coming out of clothes. It was just that.
Okay. Have any questions?
Is the residence, is it on a septic system? Or is it on city?
It's on a septic system. Everybody out there is on septic.
Where's the septic field, do you know?
It is on their property now. There's, I'll show you how it's divides. So there's their house here. Nothing comes this way. I would imagine it goes that way, because this is garage and this is high here, and I know from having having the soil map done for my own septic permit, that it has to go towards lowland. And this is all really high and it drops off that way. So imagine it goes that way. And where Veronica and I looked at putting the well is approximately here.
Get that one next.
Yes, very far away. And where I would like to put my septic system permit will apply for would be, look at that here. It's a distance of, I remember I believe she wrote it down, but it was pretty far from the side. We could perhaps have that. They told me mine needs to drain, because if the tank goes here, it needs to drain here. So, well, we love that large tree there, that's how you kind of mark it, it's right here.
Are there any concerns with, any sources of contamination, possible sources of contamination in the area?
So,
Okay. The staff have any more, does the board have any more questions? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
We have to take a vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, next up, we have a second appeal for 476 Dent Road. Lance Russell, is Lance Russell here? Are we for staff ready? You can have a seat right here.
Quentin, he wants to come in.
I think we're ready, you want
Can she pull that same map up there?
to, let's see if she can.
Are you pulling up 476? Okay, thank you. Dent Road, 476 was just given by LGMW in 2021, so you might just want to look at Dent Road. It's,
Nothing to the address around there.
Mr. Lance, what's the address of the guys before coming to your property?
let's see here. Can you just look up Dent Road by any chance?
connect, I have to add to the street commercial for that.
Weird, everything shows it's dead road.
I'd be terribly far from that, you might be.
Now, yeah, might scroll over. That don't make sense or something.
That's not surprised,
That's kind of what I'm doing the same thing, it'll just, the address is popping up as Dent Road on all my neighbors too. Give us a number.
Try 755 Dent Road.
$7.55.
Yeah, that'll get you somewhere close.
Oh, okay.
You'll keep going
South,
south.
I guess, south.
Keep going, yeah, keep going there, and then move it to the right. Yeah, that's the problem. The right, that line. Right there. That line right there. Yes, ma'am. And if you scroll down just a hair, so this is a huge, long 2-year saga, and I'm not going to bore everybody with details. But Dent Road, I've been to the road commission and everywhere else. When we purchased the property, we knew we were landlocked. Dent Road is proposed. This is gravel right here. When we purchased the property, we knew we were landlocked, but we had a access through some Tennessee law, basically saying it's some type of easement, like you've been using it for more than 20 years, whatever. So we had that, and so this is proposed Dent Road going down to Walnut Grove. The utilities come down right here in this area of this gentleman's property right here. We have tried everything possible to try to get these. I paid MLGW for they did all the work and all the engineering back in April of 2022, and then I paid them on March 9th. Before they started work, the attorneys at MLGW were having arguments over, can you put something down this proposed road even though it has not been deemed a road yet? And some people said yes, and some people said no. Well, the people said yes at first, and then they said no later, which I agree with, just basically with the deed. So we dealt with Tom Maslowski and Patrick Jones and Jason Potty have all dealt trying to get an easement worked out, and they've written up 2 or 3 different easements. I've got the last one. No matter what we did, the landowner was just going to come up with something else. And we went all the way to, he said it was going to take his water pressure away. They proved that wasn't, it was going to take his electricity away. That wasn't the case. I've got a good relationship with them. The last one was they were afraid that they were going to string poles up through here. And I talked to my attorney and just said, hey, what can we guarantee the guy? And my attorney was going to write up basically, I don't know what it was, a document that said we would pay him $50,000 if we ever strung him up GW poles there, knowing that that was not going to happen because we would have to be, this easement goes, this proposed road goes on my property. And he said, unless y'all request it or they buy the property from you, it's not going to be an issue. He said no to that as well. and we got all that in writing. The MOGW have been great. Now, landowner's a great guy, he just feels like his rights are being taken away. And it's all underground. We guaranteed him underground mooring, MOGW guaranteed him, I told him I'd plant any damage they did, I told him I'd plant big old trees, $500 trees along there. So anyway, I got the money back from MOGW about a year and a half later. I just got that back last few weeks. We just tried everything we could try to do to get easement. We can't get electricity either. I wanted MOGW water because a lot of the water usage is going to be for 20 gallons at a time. So it's not a huge amount of water. Now I'm going to have to hook up a generator to it as well, and all that, but there's just no other options we've got. We've got quite a bit of expensive equipment out there, and we're planting hardwood trees, and you can't get crop insurance on the trees unless you have a water source, and all kinds of other things. We've had a lot of equipment problems based on mud and stuff, so it's been quite important.
So I guess water really can't provide you water through no fault of their own.
And they have, I have a huge amount of respect for LGW after this. I mean, I've heard all the bad stuff, but they have been absolutely, they have gone over and above. And I mean, they've just done it. They've gone out 3 times and met with the neighbor to explain to them exactly where they were going to go into the ground and where they're going to come out. And I offered a surety bond on any damages because we're going to have to get our own private person to do the mooring. Try to get him insurance for that. It just, he's,
But you were denied based on water being available.
Yes, and let you know, filled it out. There is water available within 1,000 feet. This is, I think, maybe 600 feet or something from here. So it was within that. The question was framed: is there water within 1,000 feet? And they said yes, and so that made it an automatic rejection. And I've got a survey of the property and that sort of thing, but it's pretty accurate right here.
Any board members have any additional questions? Any questions for staff? We have a motion. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a final appeal is for 11516 Long Road. Mr. Aguilar, are you? Staff ready?
So I'm here, interpreting. Right? I'll tell you a little bit about that house he's building. So he bought that land a few years back, and he's decided to build a house there. Of course, the land was always trying to drill a well there. He submitted an application for that, but he got denied. So he went to MOGW and requested some water, which at that point, there's no main close to I didn't say 100 or 1,000 feet from the property, so they did give him a quote, but it's $100,000 to run a main, a 12-inch main, all the way to the right-hand side of his property, so that the dam pool is 2-inch line all the way to his house. The 2 issues here, I guess, is one, you don't have the money to pay $106,000 for that thing. And so that's why he's requesting to prove it well, in a nutshell, that's what he's asking for. He did do the survey, the image, and did the whole thing, but it really comes down to it's more than he can pay on that, so he's requesting that well. His house is already built,
So,
but he has no water.
Yeah, basically.
So this is strictly for residential?
Yes, it is residential.
size, you know what size of the building you're trying to put in? About 40.
How far is it from the septic?
It's about 500 feet from the septic.
The staff will have the location evaluated as well.
Yes.
You have any findings or something you share with the board?
No, his area was pretty much straightforward. Just had to take him back a little bit further because the house was built in floodplain, so we had to take the bill back a little bit further than initially thought about to get out of it.
Or will be site?
It's gonna be pretty much back up here with this cleared area here. His septic and all of, his septic field lines and all that is well over here. And the floodplain pretty much stopped right here, so I went another, another 100, 200 feet out of the floodplain.
What kind of elevation change between, the edge of the floodplain where the wells are proposed, you know?
Right off the top, I think.
Is that water strip there, is that an easement or?
No, he
Just
had,
because it's like, yeah,
it's just where the area was cleared.
It's a field, just.
I know that does go uphill going to the north, but I think it goes a little ways pretty flat before it starts up.
It does. For the most part, it's flat.
Those other homes on Wells to the left.
Well, according to this, the main stops right up where the little hand is, a little bit further to the left. Right around there. The main stop's there, so they gotta carry that 12-inch main all the way to east side of the property. I talked to Eric myself about it, and the engineer that did this, and I asked him if he could, I said, well, we don't need a main, we not do a 12-inch main, just what he needs. That was not an option. He said, we have to run a main. I said, well, can he get his money back when other properties start developing over here? No, that's not an option either, so. I think it's unfair if he has to pay for a 12-inch main from there to there, and then don't get, if you have to get some of his money back later when it starts. Because eventually they'll have to run it all the way, but I understand there's not enough homes right now to do so, but.
We typically do that in Arlington with, utilities as well, developers, they'll have to take the far edge of the property and serve the, connection. There's no concern about the well being flooded in any way. Feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, actually, when I initially went out and sighted it, I had it in one location, and then when I came back and put it up on the map and all the floods and, FEMA pipes and all that on there, I was like, no, I didn't go back far enough, so I took the measurements to make sure I was definitely out of it. I took the measurements, from the street to where the plane was. I'm like, I know if I go beyond this, you know, then I'm out of it.
Well, I've never seen water get across Long Road on this side, but, you know, weather has changed.
He's had it for a couple of years, had it flood again, so, I know that's not only a 100-year floodplain, but here the last 2 years, I don't think we've seen it rise at all, that time. And it is farmland, but it used to be so.
Where you got it also.
As long as it's out of the country.
Does any other board members have questions they want to ask in regards to this? Staff, anything else you want to add or?
No, other than, you know, when I continued to make sure, I was like, I just got to her, are you sure you're not gonna use your will for anything else? And he was confident that it was going to be
That's all.
for the house.
It'll have a horses, just don't.
Just what I, that's just what I'm.
Just what I said.
Want to have a motion? Motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
The first.
First,
Okay.
second vote, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So do we, at this point, do we have any other businesses?
Until she's ready.
So when's our next schedule? Does any board member have anything else or any other issues that we should discuss? Have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned.